Hey everyone, and welcome to another episode of the SMA Audio Experience Podcast. We have a special episode here. We're actually touching base with one of our previous guests who had a couple of events actually happen on her campus. So we're blessed to have Principal Elizabeth Joseph from St. Francis out in Vista join us on the call. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome. Well, today we're going to talk a little bit, and I'm going to have you share a little bit about how those two events that you shared with us on your previous podcast episode, you're going to share with us how those went. So we're really excited. And for those listening, I can't wait for you guys to hear the excitement that's coming out of her mouth. So, turn your volume up, get focused and get ready to have a good time listening to the sheer joy of how much this principal loves her campus.
We started with a multicultural mass where, all the kids came in their multicultural outfits, and we had the mass with all the petitions read in different languages, and even our priest joined in, and even they did the Eucharistic prayer in Spanish and Vietnamese, and it was a trilingual mass pretty much. And all of the petitions were all done in 8 different languages. It was great. The father let all of the students who were dressed in multicultural process in, and it was absolutely a beautiful mass. Following that, what we had booths set up. We had picked, even though we have a lot more countries represented in our school, we picked 9 countries. So each of the classes did a booth for a country. And so what they did was they had food and music and artifacts, and they had fun facts about the country. And so it was all set all around the campus. So when we came back in from Mass, and the previous day we had given all the teachers passports. So the kids could make their little details in there. And, we gave them a little picture. So we made them like a real passport. So they could fill in all of their information. And then inside we also had a world map. So we thought as they were going through the country, they could mark off where the country was. And then we made stamps. We had bought stamps for each of the country, like you would get at a visa stamp. So that was really cool. And so what they did was, the classes, we had a rotation schedule where we started in this country, and we each of the classes moved from each of the one booth to the next. So they would go through every booth. And at every booth, we had gave them up a paper with questions, like a fun fact about a country. So they had to find the answer based on what the parents were talking to them about the country. And so that made them very engaged. They were all listening to what was said about the country, and they were really all eager to find the fun fact from that country. Then they had food. They could taste food. So some of them went all out and made food and eatables and drinks. And so it was really cool. Then what we did was during lunchtime, we had all of the kids just bring blankets and towels, and then we had them on the blacktop, the whole blacktop. Everybody just sat on the blacktop, had their lunch there. And during lunchtime, we had 2 performances. One was a little Irish dancer. So she did her performance. And then we had a group from Trinidad. They did a performance with their steel drums. So it was a fantastic event. And so the kids, after they finished lunch, so they started playing, and they said, we will keep going until the kids are, bored with it, in the sense that we had given them for almost an hour for lunch because we had these performances. And so they said they will play. And so they played 3 or 4 songs, and then they said, why don't you get up and dance? And it was really fun. It was really, really fun. So the kids were all dancing, and they were playing on this. And then what they did was they even talked to the kids showed them what a steel drum was and how it's made. And so they gave them a little bit of background on the drums too, and where they are from, and the whole thing about their performance. And the 4 of them came. It was really, really neat. So after lunch we finished up all of our booths again, and the day ended with that. So it was,
Man,
it was,
that sounds like it was a jam-packed day.
it was a jam-packed day. It was a jam-packed day. It was a really exciting day. It was a really fun day. The only thing it was having it in May was a little bit crazy because May is such a busy month. And so the next year I will do it with, even better because now we know what to do and what not to do, because I think we gave them 15 minutes at each booth. So either we will have them more things to do at the booth or cut the time down to 10 minutes, because for the younger grades, I think 10 minutes is pretty much it's a good time for them to be engaged and learn about the country and taste the food and, to move on. I mean, they probably could do just with that 10 minutes, had enough to learn about the country. And so then they came back and they were able to mark where the country is, all of those things. So that was very cool. And so one of the parents had brought to my attention that there was somebody named the Flag Keepers. There's an organization that you can rent these flags from them. So what I did was, if you walk into our campus, we've got a big grass area, and down below is the blacktop. And so looking at the blacktop, you've got the grass field, and kind of it's like 3 steps. So on top is kind of like a big, like a cemented area. And so I rented 9 plus a U.S. flag. So the 10 flags, these were huge flags and like a 3x5 flags. So they bring the stands and everything. So walking in, you knew it was a multicultural celebration. So there were a lot of parents there. It was very nice. It was very well done, everything went as planned. So that was a great day. The second thing we did, go ahead.
Well, that first thing, that was just the multicultural fair, like
yes,
all that whole setup, the planning. Now, was this, refresh my memory, because I remember I was looking over notes. I re-listened to our episode that we had a couple of months ago.
Yes.
Now, was it the first time that you ever had done it, or has it been a while?
No. This was the very first time we have ever done this.
Okay.
So
got it.
Yeah, this was our first. I like to call it our first annual multicultural celebration. I really, really, really loved it so much. I will bring it again. We will definitely do it again next year. And I think the parents.
Well, I think you guys would.
Yeah.
I think you guys should. Because with the amount of joy. Now, about how many people did you have attend, like on estimate, if you weren't taking?
I would say we had about 20-30 parents attend.
Wow. Yeah, okay, cool. And then on top of the student body.
Yes.
And the staff.
Yes. Yeah. It turned out to be a big event, because I think as the parents heard about it, and I think next year we'll make it even bigger, because now that the parents know about it, because each booth had at least 2 or 3 parents. Because we made it work through the room parents, because the room parents kind of gave them a chance to talk to whoever wants to do it. So each booth was run by about 2 or 3 parents. So we had a lot of parents there. And, we tried to advertise it as much as possible. And one of the things we still haven't done is we had a Vista Press, which was one of our local newspapers. We still have to, one of my parents said she would write up an article and send pictures. And so I haven't done that yet, but I would like to do that also. But it was a really, really a fun event. And the kids were all excited about it, and they were so proud to come in their multicultural outfits. So we took a picture, we put it on Facebook, put it everywhere. So that was our first event. The second event, we just had it on this past Friday, the 18th, and that is one that we do every year. That was our annual performing arts. It's towards the end of the year. This is our celebration, and what we do is we pick a theme. And every class, so let's say this year's theme was international songs. So everybody, all the teachers pick a song. So there were Spanish songs from Africa, from Ireland, from Spain, from Australia. I mean, all different countries. So they pick a song from that country, and then they choreograph it. Either they choreograph it, or we have a parent come and choreograph it. So it was just a fun event. So the most important thing about this is even a 2-year-old class comes up on stage and does a song. So, so this is, the parents line up because we have a field. That's where the event is, and with the kids performing up on top of the cemented area. The field is where the parents come, put their blankets or the little chairs. The event was at 5:30 in the evening. At 7 o'clock in the morning, we had parents lining up at the gate to come get a seat up, put down their blankets. We do not open the gates until 2:30. We advertise it that 2:30 is when we have the gates open. And so parents are lined up at 7 o'clock to come get a seat. That's how popular this item is. And so this
Now,
one.
are you sure? Are you sure that you guys don't have like a hidden mini like Disneyland or like some other concert going on at your location? People lining up that early.
Oh my gosh!
The only other thing I can think of regarding school where people would line up that earlier is if you're in a charter school or some of those other schools where they do like a lottery system. That's the only thing I can think of people lining up that early. So
right,
that's pretty awesome.
This one blew my mind that parents were there at 7 a.m. in the morning. And what they do is they put their chairs or something to save their spot. And 2:30 when we open the gate, they come in, put their blankets because they don't want to miss a spot. They want to get a spot up in front. And we had food trucks there. We had an art show with all of the kids' artwork displayed on the walls. And this is, like I said, this is absolutely my favorite event of the year. Mostly because every child in the school is up on stage. Every child is up. It's not a selected few that come to perform. Every class comes up and they pick a song. They learn the song. They choreograph it. Okay, have a parent choreograph. It seems very simple, but it comes together very, very nicely. We have a family that provides us with the big, huge speakers and sound system, and so it is a big event. It is Friday at 5:30, and we are usually done by 7:38. We are all done. But like I said, the parents line up at 7 o'clock in the morning, and they can have, and so they all dress up. Every class picks their costume. They go all out. Even the teachers do a dance. So I thought, if every class is doing, ever since I've been there, every year the teachers also have had a dance. Kids absolutely love it when we are up there on stage dancing. And we always end with the song, "We Are Family." Do you know that song?
Right. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's on my playlist.
Right. So that is our final song ever. And the first year we did it because it was I can't remember what theme it was, but that was one of the songs that we ended with. And it was so popular and everybody was dancing, and it is such a good feel with that because our parents are all there. This is so well attended. We've got all the parents there. Everybody loves this because every child, like I said, every child is up on stage. So that makes it really, really fun. And it was, both events went beautifully. Was great. We had a fantastic representation from all the parents. So I was very, very happy.
Amazing episode. Thank you so much, Principal Elizabeth Joseph, for sharing all that amazing excitement, being around people in your community. You're doing amazing things. And, especially on this day, we would like to really commend all the principals, especially yourself, for being great leaders, for your campus and your parents and all the students that you're affecting. So, thank you so much for joining us on today's episode.
You are welcome.
Awesome. Well, everybody, thanks again for joining us for another SMA Audio Experience Podcast episode. We look forward to hearing you on the next show. Till then, take care. God bless.